Hey, this is Craig the Pool Man with Pool Specialist, and today we're here to talk about a Dolphin Active 20 cleaner and exactly kind of how to troubleshoot it and fix it. So these are great cleaners. They are workhorses. We love them at our customers because of course it definitely reduces our workload on our weekly customers. It does a great job of cleaning the pool. In comparison to the old school pressure side cleaners, this uses less than 1/10 the power, and I say it does about a 50-60% better job of actually cleaning the entire pool. But every now and then they do run into a couple problems. The first problem that we run into, quite honestly, is a power problem, because you're plugging this into an outside outlet, and that outside outlet by code must be a GFI. So if it gets any water in it, or you get too much humidity in the air, whatever it might be, they trip. So typically you're going to have this in the center of your deck, and this power supply is water resistant. It is not waterproof. So you don't want to have it laying in water. You definitely want to have it sitting up and off the deck and off any place that can puddle the water. But first and foremost, do you have power to the device that you're going to plug in? So you can go to Home Depot and you can buy one of these, or you can go to Lowe's and buy one, and you simply plug it in and it tells you how many volts you have. You want to have at least 110, 115 volts for this to work correctly. The other thing you want to note is that it is wired correctly. And according to the Dick Tracy decoder ring on the front of this, you can see that these two lights tell me, yes, it is wired correctly, and that I have 124 volts. So now what you want to do is you're ensured that you have the voltage here. And so we're going to plug in our power supply. And the power supply, once it's plugged in, if you're putting this on the deck, you can get one of these nifty little boxes from Home Depot. And as you can see, there's a bunch of rubber gaskets in here. You can lay your connection in here and then close it up, snap those closed, and this again is water resistant. It is not waterproof. So if you throw this in the pool, yes, it is going to trip the outlet. And so leave this on the deck, and make sure that it's not submerged in water. But these are fantastic. I encourage everybody to spend whatever they are, $5, $6. You can get this particular type at Home Depot. We prefer this one. And then if you go to Lowe's, they have an orange type, which is a little bit bigger, and it doesn't quite seal as good as this does. But either one will work just fine. So that's how you're going to hook it up on your deck. Now let's talk about our power supply right here. So our power supply right here it is pretty simple to debug. The reality is all it's doing is providing 30 volts, technically 25 or 26 volts to this cleaner, and it is DC voltage. So you really don't have to worry about getting electrocuted. One, because it's low voltage. Two, because it's DC. So when you would turn this on, you'll see everything lights up. Now, in that regard, this particular unit would work fine. However, if you were to try to select going to 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days, it does not allow you to select that. So therefore, this unit is not functioning correctly. But I'm going to show you how to actually test this once you have it functional unit. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to unplug this, and then we have a new unit here, and the new unit we're going to show you the part number. Here's the part number to purchase a new power supply for an Active 20. Now when you get the power supply of course doesn't have the cord on it. So what are you going to do? So there's a restraint on here where you're simply going to take a number 2 Phillips head and you're going to take that restraint out and pull your cord out. You do have to wiggle it, and you are going to notice that it has a nice silicone seal on it, and you're going to now insert that into your new power supply and go ahead and screw your restraint back on. That way you don't have to worry about the cord falling out. And that's connected up now. Okay, so here's our power supply. We are now going to plug this in to our known good outlet. Presto bingo. And it's going to flash, which is a good sign. And then we can, if you're really fancy, you may want to go out and get one of their little special tools that tells you whether there's the right voltage coming out of it. You plug it into the side of this unit. Make sure you get the key aligned with it. And once you turn it on, you will see that there's a green light that shows up. And basically what that's telling me is that I have 25 volts going out. And I'm going to show you how to do this with a voltmeter. So here we go. If we want to run it every day, we're going to click it once so you see the light under 1. And then if we want to run it every other day, click it again and it runs every other day. If we want to click it every third day, run it every third day, click it one more time. I do not see a reason to not run it every single day. I can tell you that right now. It just makes no sense because these things pull almost no current. Then they also have a button for quick clean, and on some of the units that's active, in other units it is not active. And they also have a button for delayed timing or delayed start. There's also a way that if you happen to want to hook this up to an automation system, you can go through a process on this and have it so that every time that automation or power goes to that outlet, you can have it turned on. And we'll give you that set of instructions a little bit later on in the video, or you could download the PDF from our website. So here we have our cleaner, and what you'll notice, we have the green light on. And if you don't want to go out and buy one of those nifty little tools, which I don't know why you would want to, you can look at your plug that comes off of the unit, the Active 20, and you can see the key up here, and then the bottom 2 on that connector. So here's my key, here's our bottom 2, and what I can do is I can take a voltmeter, and I'm going to want to set this to DC volts. And then I can take my leads and I can insert them into those bottom 2 holes. And now you're going to see that I have 29.41 volts, roughly 30 volts. So anything from 25, 26 volts up to 30 volts is good. If it's over 30 volts, bad supply. And you definitely don't want to be plugging a cleaner into it because you're going to blow it out. So that is the easiest way to actually test these cleaners. Okay, so then, now that we've got this unit working, and we're going to go ahead and shut that off, if your unit in the pool was good, of course you would want to line up that key, and once that key is lined up, it will insert. And then you're going to want to screw this on so that you have a nice seal. And that's just to get it so that no water drips in there. There's a little O-ring there so that it makes it water resistant, not waterproof. Again, water resistant, not waterproof. Okay, which means if it's not waterproof, you can't drop it in the pool. So this unit, if you do not secure this power supply down, this unit can pull it into the pool. And I have seen that where people have called up, it has pulled this unit into the pool, and of course the unit's destroyed, and that is not under warranty. There's just no way that you're going to get a claim, warranty claim for that. Okay, so now let's put this aside, and we're going to talk about replacing the motor block inside of this unit. So we're going to flip this up. I like to take the basket out. I'm going to turn this around so that you can get a little bit better view of it, and maybe even prop it up. It's relatively easy to replace this motor block. All you need is a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this cover piece off. There's a screw here. And I like to put these like in a little cup so that I don't lose them. Fortunately, they're all the same, so you can't really get them mixed up. Take that off, and now we take our cover piece off. And sometimes you got to wrestle this a little bit, and it's because there's a grommet on the cord that, you know, holds it in place. You can see the grommet here. And so at this point, we're going to put the wire in there. We're going to push it, and we're just going to hold this on the side. Okay, so at this point, we're pretty close to getting this out. You can take this piece out. Of course, don't forget to put it back in. If you need to clean your impeller, you can clean your impeller in here. That's something that you definitely want to check, because if the impeller's clogged up, then this unit is not going to work. So before you go ordering a new motor block, make sure that your impeller is cleaned and that everything is okay in there, because it'll suck up hair and all types of things, which will prevent this unit from working. So next is you take this out, set it on the side. Of course, you can't put it back wrong. It forces you to put it back correctly. It is idiot proof. So now there are 2 more screws that hopefully you can see. There's a screw here and there's a screw here, and we need to take those 2 screws out. So again, standard number 2 Phillips head. And actually, if you look in the maintenance, the manual under the maintenance, and we'll show you how to get to the manual later on in this video through their website, and you can even download the PDF from our website of the manual. But take those 2 screws out, and now you're just gonna kind of twist it and wrestle it a little bit until it comes loose, and then you can pull it out. Now what you've got is you've got your restraint right here, which you're going to pop off, and that kind of clips the cord into place. And then you're going to unscrew this, which again is to kind of protect the water resistance, or in this case waterproof connector. You'll see the little rubber grommet there. So you're going to pull this out. Okay, so now there's your connector, and if you remember our nifty little tool, we can then plug this in to our nifty little tool. And or you could use your voltmeter, and if we plug this in, and we have our power supply turned on. So now what we're going to do is, here's our power supply. Let's plug up our power supply. Make sure that it's secure. We can turn this on, and we're going to tell it we want to clean every day just to make it happy. And you should have a green light down here at the end. Of course, make sure you plug it in the way the key is, otherwise you're not going to have the little green light. So there's a key here and it plugs in, and here's my little green light, as you can see. So this is a tool, and I can give you the part number for this tool. Yeah, it makes it convenient if you're doing a lot of these, but the reality is a voltmeter is a lot more universal, and it's going to tell you a lot more information. So here we go. We're going to take one lead, put it in there, take another lead, put it in the other side, and now we check our voltage, and as you can see, we have 29 volts, right? 29.41, which is exactly what we had at the power supply. So this happens to be a good cord, and the cord does not have to get replaced. And of course the power supply is good. So that solves both those problems. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this off, because you really don't want to try and run this out of the water. It doesn't work very well. And now we're going to take our new motor block, and here's the part number for the new motor block. And a couple things, of course, it comes with new pieces. So as you saw when we took this apart, we pulled this plug out, and so now of course here's our key up here, and here is our key here, so it has to plug in that direction. And fortunately, because it is keyed, it is somewhat idiot proof, and you want to push that all the way in. Then you may want to put a little bit of sealant on that. They make like a special sealer that you can put on this, and then you're going to tighten this up. It doesn't have to be killer tight. And then again, we want to create that restraint so that that cord can't get pulled out. So that goes and it gets locked into place just like that. So we've got that in place, and now we have to kind of wrestle this in. We're going to take this and put it in and then kind of twist it into place. Sometimes you have to rotate this a little bit just to line up the gears. And so come in here, and of course it doesn't want to fit, so let's rotate the gears a little bit and see if we can get it to slide in. Bingo. You can feel it when it snaps in all the way, and of course there's a couple holes in the bottom that we have to put the screws in down here, and they have to line up, because if they don't line up cleanly, then you do not have it in right. So take it out, rotate that gear a little bit, and make it fit the way it's supposed to fit so that you don't have any binding. And then you're going to go ahead and we're going to put these screws back in, one on each side. Maybe if we turn it this way, you can get a better look at that. And now we're going to take this piece, and of course it's universal, it doesn't matter. We're just going to snap this into place. Bingo. And so now that's snapped into place. As you can see, we still have our cord kind of wandering around out here that we're going to have to wrestle in. And then of course we have this piece, which again is only going to fit in one direction. It's not going to fit in that direction. So we have to fit it in over in this direction. And so now, as you can see, that fits very nicely. And we can finally get to the piece on the top. And we're simply going to slide the cord through this. And then we're going to work getting the grommet into the bottom piece down here so that that's correct. Pull the cord tight, put that on, line up the screw holes. Our new motor block is installed and we're ready to go test it out in our pool. So I think that was pretty easy, not too difficult. Of course, put your basket back in, close the lid, and our unit is fixed. It's done, ready to use. Okay, if you are interested in getting a Matronics Manual, this company really has their act together. They've got a lot of good videos on their cleaners, but real simple. All you have to do is go to manuals.matronics.com. Matronics is a company that makes the product, the Dolphin product. They sell it in a bunch of different labels. So this is the home. So if we come in here and we want to find an active 20, we simply type in active 20. And of course it comes right up. You can see all the other ones that they've got. We select it, we hit search, and now do we want it in US, Australian, or Canada? Of course I'm here in the United States, so I'm gonna do that. So now, as you can see, you've got a nice video here for the introduction, the warnings and the cautions, what's going on there, pool cleaner parts. So if you need to order any parts, such as maybe additional cartridges for cleaning it, the setup, of course, you know, it goes through a pretty simple setup, and then of course you have your video. Now, at this point, if you would like to get a manual, then you can go ahead and click on here, and that will open up another window. And if you'll see that it downloaded, and in this case we can open that up, and here is the PDF of the particular cleaner. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to close that, and we'll go back to the setup. And so then again, you've got that nice little video, how to actually put the cleaner into the pool properly and set it up, and it tells you, again, you've got a nice little video for it. When you're removing it, how to properly remove it, i.e. pull it over to the point that you're at by pulling on the cord, and then lift it out of the pool with the handle. Very, very important. Otherwise, you don't want to put too much stress on that. And then of course we could come down here to routine maintenance, and here's where it's going to tell you about cleaning the cartridges, and again you've got a video for that, another video down here, and how to clean the impeller, which we saw in the video where you take it apart and you remove all the hair and garbage from the impeller. Go back up, off-season storage, what to do with it, what the proper thing is, talk about the digital power supply, and exactly how to use it. Of course, 1 click, 2 clicks, 3 clicks, and you can see how that works. And next we come into the troubleshooting hints. Bottom line is these cleaners are pretty good. If you happen to hit the button to turn it on
and the cleaner moves about 15 feet, or maybe even as little as 5 feet, and then shuts off, that is 99% of the time the motor block. I mean, it turns on for a little while, or very short time, and then shuts off. So that's your troubleshooting. That tells you your power supply is typically working correctly, and there's nothing wrong with your cord. It's just that there's something going on with the motor block. So that's troubleshooting. And then, of course, some helpful hints. And so that's about the size of this. Their website's pretty easy to use. And if you have any questions, just send us a link and let us know what you'd like us to tell you.
I hope you found this video educational. If you did, drop us a like, follow us. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.